Wednesday, March 2nd, and that means we are doing some house tours today, as we do that every Wednesday morning. Let me do my tweet before I forget. We are on Exile side this week, since we did Dominions last week. I still try to, give a fair shake to both factions, so it just happens that we find enough on each side lately. Before it was a little sketchier on Dominion side, but thankfully that's picked up a lot more. I assume due to the free-to-play, we've had more players come in, and with more players comes more builders, and with more builders there comes more plots to explore. So anyway, this week is Exile side, and we have a pretty good selection for you guys. We're going to start off with Beverly Crusher's plot, the USS Enterprise 1701. So for any of you Star Trek fans, this is probably a place for you. Let me slow down my run there. So right off the bat, you're kind of like in a little cylinder entrance kind of thing, and then you get this long hallway bit. And in the beginning, it might look like it's a little barren, but and I think if I remember right, well, I don't know what this is supposed to be. I guess it's supposed to be they didn't like the look of the mailboxes we had, so they put a chew-a-desk to make it look like a mailbox instead. Hey Gabe, glad you could join us. Good morning and all of that. It's a rainy a rainy Wednesday. It's been storming, I think, pretty much all night. I woke up several times, and hopefully that doesn't affect our show any bit. But you can see we come into this hangar, and there is the Enterprise itself. It's pretty much probably the best view you're going to get for the exterior. There's really, I couldn't figure out a way to get like outside. They've got this pretty closed off, so it's not like you can run around on the plot, at least not from what I found. So it's this little, I guess it's a star base or port or something, and they've got it docked here, and so you can kind of see the ship itself. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but first let's take a look at the station itself, the port. I don't know what they call it. I'm not really good with the terminology when it comes to spaceports and stuff, so forgive on that. Hey Bones, glad you could join us. Just icy fog. Well, it's been pouring rain all through the night, and pretty much it's still going. It's not like it's flooding type of pour. I mean, it's mild enough that I guess the runoff little bakes or whatever are sending the water away, but it's still pretty junky outside. I wish we had some sunlight, Gabe. You need to send some my way. Okay, so you have these little stations. It looks like it's hover part pieces of varying, like this one, I forget what it's called. I think it's a ramp. And then you have chew-a-pillows on the side to kind of box it in. And then it looks like wall pieces. I want to say it's Drake, and it's kind of hard to see in the way the lighting is, but just because of the texture of it, it looks like Drake and walls, but I can't be for positive on that. And using, of course, the tablet computers for the monitors, and then it's some kind of a control panel thing for the little switches. Simple, but it's effective. I mean, it's pretty recognizable that this is like some control panels for the station. And of course, these Exile tactile, what is it? Not tactile. tactical table. There we go. I get the terminology there, sort of. Hey, Soccer. Glad you could join us. Good morning to everybody. So they have these little stations here, I guess, to control like what ships come in for docking and all that kind of thing. That's what I would assume is the purpose of those. And then you have a little bit of a waiting area for the, I guess, the passengers, those that are getting ready to board or are waiting for the next flight. I like the little symbol here. I guess that's, I can't honestly say which direction that's supposed to be seen, if it's this way or the other way. But that little symbol that you see on their uniforms, I guess that's what that's supposed to represent. I'm not a big Trekkie fan, so apologies if I'm wrong on that. Some interesting faux doors here with the, I guess those are reinforced barriers being used as doors. It's just two of them smushed together to make it look like a closed-up door. Not very promising with the dead canary in there. Then you have like a storage area and another, like a faux gate door type of contraption here. Notice they're using the early warning system with the canary for these parts too. And then of course the red lights are the red party lanterns, I think is what it is. The red lantern, one of those. Just a simple little waiting area kind of thing, because I think the main, focus of this plot was the ship itself. I'm going to see if I can get a good shot here. You can see most of it is Oran curved walls, dome pieces, things like that. There is a little bit of Oran walls and domes. There's the red lanterns again. The main, I don't know what is that. Is that the? I don't know what that is. The disky plate shaped is an actual plate. And then there's the metal plate that's also used underneath to give that, like it's where they sit or something. I don't know. You can see there's a little shuttle coming out. And we'll get a closer look at one of those here shortly. But you can see they've, again, they use the, for the engines and stuff, they use those red lanterns, using a lot of the porthole windows. It looks like a Dominion banner on the side, and then just a lot of Oran building blocks, be it walls, tubes, cylinders, floors, just to get that shape, that general shape in there for the shuttle. For the doorway, it looks like they're using the hanging wires. Lots of Tua building blocks for the passages and the flooring, and the main construction of the, I don't know what that's called, a spaceport? I guess it's a spaceport for most of that. And of course the curved glass. Now as you get closer, you can see that they've actually spelt the whole name of the ship on the side. And the reason you don't see it from afar is just because of the rendering. It's just a little poor depending on the items you use, how small you make them, and the distance you are from them. So you can see that they've actually spelled out with 2x4s the NCC 1701 USS Enterprise. It's even kind of hard to see the S kind of disappears even worse than the rest. But they made sure all of their little mannequins that they got on the outside are equipped with their little space gear with the helmets and everything. And those that's working on the inside don't have to have that. Besides the Oran pieces, the lantern, and the plates, you can see that they've got, I think it's a Protostar solar panel on the end, and it looks like a red moon vent just to close that off there. like I said, it's a little difficult to see because you don't get right up in its face. You can see they've got those faux doors again, just same materials. Looks like the reinforced dividers or whatever, using them as the doors. So once we go inside the ship, then we've got it's basically 3 floors. You've got a lower floor which you access here, the main floor here, and then through this way you get access to the upper floor. So we're going to check out the bottom floor first, I guess. Notice their staircase is suitcases, the metal suitcases. And so this would be the hull, I guess, of the ship where the cargo goes. And this is also where you have that shuttle, a repeat of the one that's outside. And you get a closer look at the construction of it. A lot of pieces, when you're having to account for window space or door space, it always forces you to kind of go smaller and smaller, and that just means more pieces to fill up the bits that you want. But not too bad of an outcome on that. You can see they've also spelt, again, the S is the worst of all the letters, apparently, on that size. But it's just 2x4s used for the spelling. Again, just Orin curved wall cylinders, domes, floors, walls, and then of course the red moon vents for the back. The reinforced divider, I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong, but pretty sure that's the name of it. And of course this one we're allowed to go inside it to get a little closer look. So they have the actual seats and the little controllers, which is basically a replica of what they had in the station. So that's the shuttle and the belly of the ship. If you notice, though, we do have access to the bunker house from here. And that leads you to the bridge, which is pretty nicely done considering the pieces we have and how they wanted it to kind of look as close to the actual bridge of the Enterprise. Hey, Cheesy. Glad you could join us. So you have, again, a replica of the panels. They use that a lot. And we can see better here that it's not the Draken walls, but more the Exile walls that they use. In the station, it was a little harder to see just due to the lighting, but here it's pretty clear. Plates for these little weird doodads here. Books for the panels above. And then magnetized containers for the bits in between. A lot of the same materials used here and there, but in different ways, so it makes it interesting. The railing is just 2x4s and Cassian pillars, just carefully lined around. And of course the staircases are all 2 shelves. I like bacon. I like sage sausage too. That's probably my favorite. Then you have the main control panel, and I guess that would be the captain's chair. The captain's chair is made out of a blue light lounge table for the base, 2 pillows for the cushions, and then the magnetized containers for the sides, the armrests and the back. This is just a combination of different things. It's the Dominion panels, the tactical table for Exiles, the Chua, I think it's the Chua desk, and then the magnetized container for there. And I think that's the Protostar lamp light thingy, which they use in a couple of places. Notice the big screen. It's like the big window or whatever, and it's showing like a planet and like a moon, I guess. The moon, I think, is the orange sconce light, and of course the ship is one of the model ships. And I'm not sure what the red planet is. I think it's the container with the big red pot container with the little flower in it, or the little vent bush in it, but I'm not for positive. It just reminds me of that color, and the roundness of it kind of seems to be close, but I could be wrong. And of course, for the main walkway up here is all hover park pieces. Don't apologize for your English. I know a lot of native English speakers that don't speak as well as some of you Europeans, so nothing to be ashamed about. The way I put it is, unless I can speak your language fluently, then you have nothing to apologize for, because most native English speakers don't speak as many languages as you guys. So that was the bottom floor, and of course the bunker house. So now we're going to explore this, I guess I call it the main floor. I don't know what everybody else calls it. So here's the, what do they call, the teleporters? Transporters? One of those. Teleporter room. So we have porthole windows for the little top part and the bottom part, and then kind of disappears when you get into it, but it looks to be the animation that comes with the test dummies. It has those little weird twirly-gigs and floaty bits. Weird how it disappears at certain angles. I think that's what they're using for the animation. And of course, those are the blue light lounge tables for this part. And then the Draken pillars for the trim. And of course they're repeating the control panels as they have in other locations. Notice the faux doors again. It's I believe it's called the reinforced dividers, something like that. They're using them as the doors, and these as the controllers for each. This one appears to be open. I like the little makeshift bed here. I have no idea what a Hyperion is. But it's just a couple of hover park pieces. Make this little quickie bed. Same way with the desktop here. This little countertop is just a couple of hover park pieces. A lot of builders have found that those are a very versatile type of building block. So here we have what I assume to be the engine room, engineering, or whatever you want to call it. Again, they're kind of replicating the control panels from elsewhere, but they mix and match it up with different little doodads. So you got the lever switches and things like that. You've got an upstairs one there. And then you got this little bit here. I'm sure that's probably something that looks close to something in the show itself, but I have no idea what that is. It's nicely done. Some triangle pieces, some cylinders, and of course the vent tank in the middle. I'm not sure what they're using for the bolts there. I want to say it's one of the bottles, but it could be something else, because I see this little bit here. I really don't know what that is. It's interesting though. Looks pretty nifty. Of course, lots of two-a-desks for these little stations here. I don't remember what these tubes are, but the fencing part is basically just the marauder netting. So yeah. Pretty nifty looking little engine room. Let's see, I've been there. Also, that's it. Okay, I think that's it for this floor. So that leads us upstairs. So again, they're using a lot of these faux doors, you know, indicating that there's more to the ship than you're being allowed to see. goes all the way around. Here is the mess hall. So you have the little food replicators. So they're indicating, you know, they're just like generating the food. You punch it in and it just suddenly appears. Was it pretty accurate, Gabe? Like I said, I'm not really a Trekkie fan, so I mean, I've watched the movies, but I don't really pay that close attention as far as detail goes. So I can't confirm on that, but I'll take your word for it. So here's med bay, I guess. You have all the medical cots and all of the equipment, lockers, things like that. Examination rooms. Here's another little private room. Using the bed again, but then they threw pillows on it just to make it a little different. Let's get in. Let's see. And I think that's it. As far as I could tell, you couldn't actually go up inside any of the other places of the ship. Oops, kind of fell down there. But overall, I think it's a fun idea. I mean, you know, lots of people, we've seen some other Trekkie and like Star Wars type themes. It's always interesting to see what folks come up with as far as how to put them together. And like things like with like World of Warcraft, we saw several booty bays over the last months. And even though the theme is the same, they always look different from one another, and so I find that interesting. But yeah, that's Beverly Crusher's Star Trek plot, the USS Enterprise 1701. Well, if you want to get into details like that, Gabe, I'll just leave you to it because I have no idea. I really don't watch that stuff. So the next one is Hulkbuster Stark. And I just call it the water boat, but it's actually, they've called it the Battleship Harbor. So again, you're coming into this little zoned area. You can see it's already got some of the boardwalk pieces showing, and when you come out, it's just a massive ship that you're presented with this whole little harbor thing going on. So we're going to explore the bits around the big ship. I'll be, you know, kind of taking a look at the ship as we go around, just to show you the scope and the size and just the detail that they put into it. But we'll try and get all of that before we get on the big ship itself. So there's a lot to look at. Right away, you step off into what I call the harbor market. There's all sorts of little vendors here. You've got one for potions. You've got the Protostar guy here. I guess he gives you access to your home. You got the mattress vendor. Here's for some clocks, boxes, flowers, weaponry on this side, books over here. Just a lot of detail. I mean, they've put down all sorts of little individual items just to kind of really liven it up. Here's, I guess, the mechanic, food vendor here, the wine vendor. He's got his boxes of wine. But you can see the battleship is like incredibly huge compared to everything else. This one is some explosives, another explosives, pillows. We got the fruit vendor, furniture, nautical in nature. Another, I guess that would be the beer vendor. Here's some traps and stuff, signs, and like crystal relic kind of things. So you'll see that they've got it roped off. Keep in mind, if you're using the hanging chains as like railing, you really have to keep in mind that there's no collision there. It block you like an actual piece of fencing. It looks good, but it doesn't really block you. So yeah, there's a pretty good shot of the ship. It's so big it's hard to take in the whole thing in one go. But you can see they've got other little boats. They got the oaring gondolas. Over here we have a little bitty little bar type of thing. Nicely set up. Again, a lot of attention to detail as far as you know, the bits that they use. I guess it's, I don't know, it's a lot bar or something. I love the construction of the windows here with the little, got them propped open with the bars. It's just a lot of decking pieces and tiki roofs, and of course the boardwalking for all of the harbor itself. Excuse me, I feel a sneeze coming on. Okay, so I'm gonna cruise right on back. Notice it's bumpy. That's just due to the nature of boardwalk, how it affects things, but it is a rather bumpy walk or ride. Here we have a little, I guess this is a sailboat since it's got the cinched down canvas. It's just rolled up. It's basically just sleeping bags, rolled sleeping bags, and they put several of them together to reach out the whole thing. Again, it's for this one, it's mostly Exile pieces for the bottom of the boat, curved walls. I think that's a dome, and same way here, that's a dome for the little bit. Got his little sitting area where he's checking out his map. Don't know if I can get up there. There we go. Oaring pieces for the little cabin, and decking railing for most of the railing all around the edge. Exile pillars, I think it is, and then hanging chains for that. But the pillars for the mast and stuff. Pretty cute little idea. Rather long, but it works. Here's his little desk. I mean, look at all the little detail. There's like coins and books and things. It's a really cute little build. For those of you on Jabbit, you'll know that Marshall, this is one of his alts. He's a big fan of boats and ships and all sorts of things. He's all the time building different varieties. So he's got a huge selection here. But some of his other plots that we've toured, it's the same way. He does spaceships and things too. Here's, I guess this is kind of like, it reminds me of like a motel kind of thing where people would come and rent rooms or something. And he just made this faux. It's mostly Exile pieces for the buildings, like the domes and the curved walls and the floors. And then it's been given faux doors. So you've got the arch and then the oaring floor for the door, and then a little bottle top for a handle. And he's just repeated that all the way down here to make it look like there's different kinds of, I guess, shops and houses and stuff. Here's a little water drain. So you've got the rain gutter there lining the top, and then he's actually made a little drain where the water comes out and gets pushed out into this harbor area. Again, this looks like it's supposed to be like a bar, but he's just turned it into a faux door, and the door is just the back of one of the portraits, but using the same handle. Using different bits for like carpeting and stuff. So here we have another boat. It's just a different kind of, I picture this as the tugboat, the one that kind of like pulls things around. That's what it looks like to me anyway. You can see for the railing he chose the grated metal shelf for that. A lot of Orin walls, cylinders, tubes, domes for all of this bit. A cute little, simple in some ways, but just some of the ideas for the parts is pretty fun. Cassian pillars for this back part here. And of course the Chua desk and the Chua tech arm. This would be the one that I guess would load and unload other ships or something. I think that's just an engine piece. I don't know if that's one of the newer ones or the one that we've already had for a while, but I get a good look here. It's like a hollow dome and then a solid dome combination, several there to make that little front end piece. It's a pretty nice little boat though. I like it. Then we get off into these little, I mean, it's a continuation of the harbor, but it's kind of like island little bits here and there. So we have this little island with the lighthouse on it, which is just Draken pieces, like the curved walls and cylinders and stuff. Some basic windows, and then the protostar lamp for that little light thing. There is an indication that this is where you would go in, but again, it's faux. It's not actually functionable. So here you have the Orin dome and curved walls, but then to make the door, they've just sandwiched in an Exile version. So you've got 3 different types of building block there, but they blend nicely together. And of course, using the bottle top again for the handle, the door. Over here, we've got the little X marks the spot for the treasure pile. And then over here, we have a little beach picnic type of thing going on. So they got their cooler and their drinks and pillows and little Chua rug for their blanket here. And then they've got their little motorboat. Look at the motorboat. I guess that's an actual engine piece, and they just tacked on a couple of things to make it look like it's like a hammer, and just it's funny. It looks pretty convincing, I think, as a motorized boat. Chua pillows for the cushions, and then it's just a Dominion bookshelf for the boat itself. Simple, but very effective. I mean, there's again, it doesn't matter if you add like tons of detail or if you keep it simple like this. As long as people recognize what it's supposed to be, then you've done your job. Hey Kruja, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. So again, another shot of the main battleship, which we will be touring shortly. You notice they've got the symbols using the taurine swords, kind of like as the emblem for the ship, using those giant Osun chain for the anchoring, I guess. Again, it's the same bookshelf that they use for this little boat that they're using for the big one. They just got it doubled up. Just crazy, the crap that they put together. Here we have a little floater raft, and apparently this fisherman's in a little bit of trouble. He's surrounded by what you presume to be sharks. It's just the top fin of the, I think it's the shelark thing. He's already caught something, funnily enough. Now look at this. They've actually gone through the trouble of fashioning a bit more detail on this fishing rod. They've got the chains. It's a Draken pointy spear for the main part of it, and then they've added these cylinders to it to kind of indicate where the line would be. They've got another cylinder here for, I guess, the reel part. And then for the little prop that it would sit in, it's a pillar and another like curved wall for it to sit on. Even looks like, yeah, some hammers for the handle there. That's a lot of little detail there. And of course, the little raft itself is made out of the skinny waisted barrels, exile floor, um, exile pillars. Wow, the sun's coming out, and the white drapes. So here we have another repeat of the faux buildings, kind of similar to the ones on the other side. Similar construction. I mean, they've got a little bit of difference. One actually has some smoke coming out of the chimney. Same faux door setup. Got some little cage lops here. I think they were singing too much. You have the cellar entrance, kind of indicating that there's an underground little bar thing going in. And wow, the sun is really coming out. Oh gosh, I'm having trouble seeing my screen. So here we have another little sailboat, similar to the one that we saw on the other side. They've added some differences to it. The other one had like the nautical chairs and stuff fitting here. This one's just got a little canopy attached. It's also pulling an extra little, if I can get to it, an extra little boat, like a little storage container on the, what do you call that? The dinghy boat or something. Again, it's just exile domes and curved walls and stuff to make these cute little boats. Oops. And of course, this one is trimmed in the decking railing. Exile pillars for the stairs. Let's go inside. Again, it's similar to the one in the front, but they've changed it up just enough to keep it interesting. Oh, horrible at jumping today. So here we have a little shoalark that's been caught, and the clever little setup. Again, they've taken the time to add in this detail where the chains follow the little links, and so it's not just kind of indicated that there's some kind of string or chain or something. They've actually added it all in, all the way down to the little wheels here. Here is another boat. This one's a little bit more ramshackle feeling, almost like a junk boat. They use tents for the main part of it, and then the corral fencing for either side, kind of box it in a little bit. Simple, but you know, it's just a different way of doing it. Here's another bar, faux door again, with the sign and the bottle handle, stuff like that. And then a couple of caged gooey eggs. Now this, I can't remember what it is. It's one of the new Protostar pieces. Actually, I think supposed to be the other way around, and they've put it upside down. They were so thrilled that it looks like a boat. I forget what it's called. I don't know if it's not the extractor. It's I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of the new Protostar pieces that you could get from, I think it was the Dungeon Chase event, and it's just a single piece. It's animated and it's supposed to like hover, and I don't remember what it is. I don't think generators it. I don't think engine it. It's something else. I cannot remember what it was called. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. But what it is he's just turned it upside down and planted it, and because of the motion of it, it looks like it's, you know, moving in the water. Now I'm sure he would love it if all of his boats did that, but this one, it just happened to look like a little a little tugboat. So he put that off in here. Again, there's that battleship. And we still haven't finished on the outside yet. We're coming to the last little island here. Just a little camp with some tiki roofs and such, you know, for that break from the sea. So now we're going to explore the main part of this plot, the battleship. Now there is access to the actual, it's a Chua house, I think, but there's nothing in it at the moment. It's just empty. So I assume he's gonna set it up as like the bowels of the ship, like where the engine and stuff, you know, maybe the engine room or whatever would be. I like the scaffolding he put here. It's just staircase landings and pillars to help get you further up so that you get into the ship. Most of the ship's construction, like I said, the base of it is the two Dominion bookshelves. Then you have a lot of Dominion benches lining the sides, and in certain areas here, mostly I think for the symbols, it just looks good for the trim of the windows and stuff. The entrance itself is one of those Dominion cages, which is always a fun little trick. And then most of the main part of where you would go and walk through the ship is oaring pieces, arches, walls, floors, things like that. This is supposed to be, I think, a robotic entity kind of thing. That's his eye, I guess, and his hands are like little weapons. And then he's got like a wheel that he rides on. At first I didn't recognize that that's what it was supposed to be, but later I saw it somewhere else and realized that it was like a little robot that they made. But it's, I forget all of the parts, but I know that's a Chua desk, and that's one of the model ships. Of course, the tire, and I think those are some kind of cannon or gun, something or other. And then the Ichthian telecommunicator bit. Let's just go out to the front real quick. And these are the big guns. The combination of, it looks like Dominion platform with Cassian dome and curved walls. Inside you have a little radar, I guess, where they line up their targets and shoot, bang, bang. They got two of those on the front. Looks like airtight containers intermittently along the edge here, kind of fill in the bits. Didn't get picked up by the benches. Those faux granite vault doors that aren't actually functioning, but they look good. Hammers for those little gun bits there. Excuse me. Here's another photo. That's that bookshelf again, but they've just sunk it in so you don't see the pointy part. And then they just put a, looks like a wine bottle for the handle on that one. That's the entrance. Here is one of the cabins. I kept it simple. I think, if I remember right, yesterday Marshall said that he was at 2,500 on the outside, so there's not really a lot more detail he can add. Even if he wanted to, he just doesn't have the space for it. It's just one of those things that, you know, we're limited to a certain extent as to how detailed we can be, but he's added it where he can, you know. Here's the little med bay. It's just Dominion scanners for all of these little windows here. So nifty. Here's the very gruesome. Look at that contraption there with all the knives for slicing and dicing that poor corpse. Gosh, it's a little demented with all the weaponry there, and go poking and slicing and dicing. And then of course he's got all these canisters for the other poor souls that will get chopped up. Another little bunker type thing. And then you have the back end where they have the helipad. Here's a good shot of some of the buildings that we were looking at from below. The lighthouse and everything. The harbor itself. So we go up to the next level, and then you have, I guess this is the mess hall, where you come and eat. See, here's one of those, another one of the robot things. Like his version of Wall-E or something. You have all the dinner tables and things, and then you have this nice, very well thought out, I guess it's like a buffet kind of thing, and the robots are serving. They've got different arms than the others. The others have guns for hands, but these actually have the tech arms. And so you have all the silverware, your bowls and plates, and then all your dinner dishes. So you have like soup, chicken soups and steaks and big chunks of cheese, fruit bowls, and then all your drinks, and just, you know, carry on down. The cabinetry itself is just a good number of airtight containers. Got that nice white marbly looking top, and that's from the Exile, not the Exile, the Orin floors. It's just topped on top of there. And here we have, I guess this would be the officers' dining area, so it's a little fancier. Got the really shiny tables. It's just the conference tables for the Dominion. Here you got the little bot. He's serving up the plattered pig. On to the next level. And basically it's just access to another deck area. So you've got like some more guns out here. Look at all these guns. Again, it's just hammers and domes used for that. The only off thing about using those cauldrons for stuff, you have to think about that stream of smoke goes quite a long ways. It looks a little weird coming out of there, but kind of just have to overlook it. A lot of Cassian floors for this part. Then we go up another level. That brings you to the main, I guess it's the main bridge area where a lot of the controls are. Again, the robots are repeated. Notice they change up a little, you know, depending on what he's using. This is a different ship model with one of those early warning system, the little cage bird thing that's stuck in there for the head. So again, you get access to a little bit of a decking area on either side. Just shows you how huge this thing is. It's like goes on and on. It's really high up. So then you have these tubes and all of these dome bits, the antennas here, and finally you come up into Guess this would be the captain's chair. Yep, see, he's got his little captain's outfit on and everything. Just a little creepy. And a sidekick robot up here. We'll call him One Eye. Got a great view from above. And you know, if you're wanting to take some good shots, you could just pop up right on top. Gives you a good shot of the top. Woo. Just a lot of stuff. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he mentioned that he reached the 2500. So this is the fully decked out exterior. There's nothing else he can add unless the cap goes up. I'm sure there's a lot he would love to add, but it's a pretty crazy build. All right, Cheesy, thanks for dropping by. You have a good day. Okay, so that's Hulkbuster Stark's plot, the Battleship Harbor. So the next one we're going to go to is Luna Star Fox. I stumbled across this one the other day and I thought I'm going to have to include it. I just think it was interesting the way they put it together. It reminds me of like a ruins. It's called Hideout in a Deep Forest, but it has a lot of ruiny type elements, like it's overgrown and been neglected. You can see like there's cobwebs and stuff hanging down. But I really like a lot of the elements cleverly done. Even this part here, they've got several. It looks like a couple of snowy hills sandwiched together to kind of make it look a little bit smoother than some of us, and you know, layering grass to kind of cover up little bits that they don't want showing. It does kind of look like it's underwater just because of the sky choice they made with the bubbles, but if you look kind of past that, it's not so bad. It's nice coloring, I think, is what they were going for the most. But lots and lots. This is, again, a good example of landscaping if you're looking for something that really looks natural and not... I mean, they had to put this little plant here and that little plant there and that one there. Just, it doesn't look that way, though. It looks very like it come that way. And I admire that because I'm horrible at landscaping. So here right away we come upon this little gazebo type of thing. It's just made out of, it looks like granite building materials, maybe some Oran ones as well, Oran bits, arches, cylinders, domes, all sorts of things. I don't know what lighting they have in here. It's obviously hidden within it, but it's a nice use of lighting to kind of give it some emphasis. It's got a little bit of underlighting and overlighting as well, so it looks pretty stark. And I like the arches, you know how it's done. Drake and pillars for the little bit of trim there. That one little plant just sitting there on the edge there. These big plants here, these little pinkish flowers, those are the tall finger flowers. They just really oversized it and hid the main stalk of it down in the ground. Now, from what little bit I remember, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies in here, so I'm going to see if I can remember how to get to all of them. Just all sorts of stones they've used. Obsidian stones, the sandstones, the gray stones, the swirly rocks. most of the plot, I think, is walled in with the Galeras stone walls. Like here's a little, it's a corpse, but it's like it's a sleeping puma on this rock, just in the corner, just off by itself. Hey Varg, glad you could join us. Yeah, the overgrown ones are pretty fun. Like I said, it's one of those places you probably come and visit, and every time you visit, you find something new. A lot of then thorny bushes. Okay, nothing, anything over there. Here's another, again, it's like a ruins. They used swirly rocks and gray stones to kind of highlight this place. But look at the pillars. They have them in different states of ruin. You've got the solid one here. These have the actual tops where this one's missing his. This one's knocked over. This one's like half broken. So they've done a really fun job of making it look like a ruined little, it almost looks like Atlantis, and I guess that's because of the underwater feel. That's what it feels to me. The way they're getting this grass on the stone here, I think that's just snowy hills turned upside down, and then they've used a couple of them to overlap it, and then they've added bits of grass and other kinds of plants to kind of decorate it up. This little thing here is one of the metal plates for the decoration. Then it's got the portable planter inside, and then it's just got a bush and one of the blooming pollen blooms or whatever on top of that. Yeah, exactly, Gabe. It just has a really nice feel. I mean, they've used some overgrowth to give it that kind of unkempt look, but not so much that it's overdone. It's just the right amount. Just like with the little vent bushes here, they just got little bits here. But I like the way they've got this all broken down. I mean, the walls, the way they've treated it, even especially this front part here, it just looks really broken up. And it's just triangle pieces angled certain ways, and then they got little bits of stone and rock laying about. It's a really nice touch. So here at the bust, some ivy coming in. You get the idea it was a place of importance, but it's just been kind of torn down, bit of ruins. Like I said, the pillars, they're just in different states of yuckness. Really nicely done, in my opinion. I think this is the fab kit here. I think it's one of those that leads to one of the expeditions. Yeah. But see how nicely blended it is? It looks like it belongs here. It just fits. So over here, we have another little gazebo thing. And this looks, in not so much disarray, it looks very, very pretty. Trying to figure out where's the, okay, this must be the entrance here because it's not blocked off by flowers. But look at all the little flowers. Got the golden lop in the center, some cylinders, really brightly lit. Look at the design on the ceiling, the little star shape with the triangle pieces. The pillars repeated, sort of. Got the weeping cup flowers and the ferns kind of lining that. It's really nicely done. The little things like that, like the ceiling, a lot of people won't even bother to look up. They miss those kind of things. A pity, but you know, happens. I mean, even the design here, the way they've got it split up, looks nice. Let's see. That was the ruins over there. Checking all these little corners because I know there's a few like hidden goodies that I spotted the first time I come over here. Here we have a little bit of a little river waterfall type thing coming in. So you got that drake and arch gate kind of thing, and it's one of those, oh, what's it called? Not a, is it an alcove? Something like that, with the water coming out. Looks like a thorny log for this bit here, and then stones. Again, it's another fab kit. That's like a biome fab kit there. Let's see, I know there's something over here. Doesn't look like it, but it's kind of like, well, there's a hint there might be something. So you walk in and you come into this little like place of worship. Got this nifty little stand. It's metal edged 2x4 pieces, a pillar, a red drape. That's a corner decking piece, and look, a really nice little stand. Curved walls for the Cassian. I think that's, I don't know what that is. I think it's just one of the stones. And just very large Cassian walls for the sides and floor. But it's one of those things, if you're not really looking close, you're liable to miss it because it's kind of off to itself. Eggy bits. See, I'm not sure if there's anything back here or not. Doesn't look like it. Little graveyard here, I guess. Now, you see the little mushroom steps here, right? I'm going to attempt to do those. I managed to do it the first time I come here. It took me a couple of tries. I did almost croak once. But I will say that the last time I was here, which was not that long ago, there was nothing up there. I mean, it doesn't really lead to anything major grand. So if I don't succeed, it's not a huge loss, but just mentioning it now because I have a feeling I'm not going to perform too well on camera here. Look at all these stones for this little hill here. And then they've got this another little graveyard thing with the sword in the stone. Little statue bust here. A lot of work went into building that little mound of stuff. Again, this, like I said, this is one of those plots that you will probably visit a few times and you'll see different things as you come and go. There's always something different. Okay, I think that's the front again. Let's go back to the shroom steps. I can get to them. Now, I couldn't figure out if there was an inner entrance somewhere. I'm still hunting for that. This is oh, here's the little house. There we go. So here's the little deck for the house. And it's just a giant, like super giant stardust plant. You can see the other ones over here. And they've got the one used as like the sprinkles for this little deck here. Now, I didn't go inside here, so I have no idea what's inside the main house. Okay, this looks a little dark and moody. Look at the door treatment. They just really made it their own, for sure. Like reinforced wall pieces, Chua pillars. Look at the Chua domes and stuff for the banisters. It's a really strange little setup. Somebody working on the door there. Look at the chains hanging off the thing for the entrance here. It's like a little workshop, whoever lives here. I like their computer setup. That's cute. Keyboard is just some Cassian things with a little bit of something to give it that light. The mouse is some stones, it looks like, with the wires. Got a little action figure and a cheese sandwich. They sleep in their office, apparently. Okay, let's see if I can get out. There we go. So I think the only thing we have left is the jumping puzzle, which I have no promises that I will actually be able to do it, but I will try. See how we get there. Look at all these. Here's the garden, but it's been like there's 20 logs laying all over it to really make it look messy. See, they've managed to put in quite a few of the fab kits, but in a way that it doesn't even seem like they're there. Let's see, this is the hill that had that little grave on it, and it actually has a cave below it. See, you can go, there's all kinds of little shroomies. And you've got a little, I don't know what that's called. Is that the Garganoth or whatever? Drinking his cup of coffee. Draken Walls is most of the flooring in here. Go this way. It's like a little maze under here. So you got like crystals and the habanero plant upside down with a little skeech hiding in there. What else? There's a treasure pile. Dead end. Shroomy. Oh, it's like a maze. I'm gonna get lost in here. I just know it. Found the golden skull. Yay. Oh boy. Okay, we go this way. Oops. I think that's a dead end. Not that way. I hate mazes so much. Okay, that's the, I think this, that means the entrance should be here. There we go. So that may not have been all of it, but you got a taste of it there. Yeah, it's just kind of an odd combination. See, I'm trying to find where the shroomy things are. Around here somewhere. I'm lost where the shroomy stairs are. Where are you, shroomy stairs? Oh, I'll find them. eventually. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Hear me. This is gonna be so bad. Remember, I've been up here. I know what's up there, but I can't promise I'll make it again. Because it goes on for quite a while. You got the shroomy caps to jump. And then you have some wires to walk, which was really nerve-wracking for me. I took forever to get across them because I was so afraid I was going to fall off. You can see it just goes up and up and up. Made me nervous with the little door there. It's like, what? Woo-hoo. Thankfully, they're pretty big, but I still missed a few as I was going up. So there's the first little site, which is the little wild-haired skeet. But then you have to, if you see there's some wires going across, and you have to walk those. So you get this little deck here, and then you have to, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall off of this, I just know it, but you have to walk along this wire all the way. Woo, and there it went. I'm probably gonna croak because that was a pretty big fall. But you walk the wire all the way across, and it gets you to another little platform. And as far as I can see, there's nothing there. So I don't know if there was plans to add something. There's just a little bit of boardwalk up there, but it was quite an accomplishment that I made it up there at all the first time. But definitely something you can try and do yourself if you come to Jabbit-EU Exile side. Look up Luna Star Fox and give it a try yourself. But I think that's the entire place. I really like it because, like I said, and like others said, it's got that overgrown, kind of chaotic, disorganized feel to it, but there's little purpose to each little area. And I wouldn't doubt there's some other little tidbits that I've missed just because I haven't explored every single inch, but would be interesting to see if they take it any further than what they have. But yeah, be sure and check all the little nooks and crannies, otherwise you miss some of the little bitty bits. But fair warning on the jumping puzzle part, because that is, well, at least for me, that's pretty bad bit there. I'm not a big fan of jumping puzzles, but anyway. So our next one is